Hello, this is Matt, and I want to share my story about the Statehood quarters and the National Park quarters because some of you may have the same story. Now, before I even got into coins, I went to the bank because I was just looking for silver, and I wanted to try quarters. And there was a day where I couldn't get a box, but I got a group of quarters, and I got to the cart, and I was so sad because they were all uncirculated state quarters. So that meant I had 40 Wyomings, which again is cool for some, but not for me that day. But what that made me think of was, wow, I can get all these uncirculated quarters and I could build books and I could sell them and I could give them away as gifts. And that's really what started in this room. I remember I ended up buying a couple of these and a couple of the normal books, mainly the normal books, but I wanted to have some variety so that my kids could have some variety. And I started planting these. And I remember as I was landing each quarter, I just kept saying, okay, this is going to be cool. It's going to be for the kids. I'm going to give these away as Christmas gifts. I even had coworkers that I gave them to. But looking back on it, I'm wondering if in the comment section, if you have the similar story, this really is not the way to go. Even though this is how we all probably got started, there's not a lot of value here. And I hate to say that, but the amount of time spent finding these quarters, it has to be just for the fun of it. And there is a challenging quarter, which still drives me crazy, is this Marinara Island. You rarely find that one in circulation. I do have some of the mint sets, but I'm not going to break them out to get it. But I want to see if everybody has a similar story. Again, the Statehood quarters brought coin collecting to the forefront, but it's probably not where most of us wanted to spend our time, even though it got us into it. And we're happy with it, and you want to finish it. That's the trick. That leads me to the state park quarters, which again, the designs on these are incredible. And I was fortunate enough to have some empty books, so I started working on those also, and I have them about up to date except for the latest 2020 and the future 2021. I do have another book, and I have 3 children, so I was going to give 1, 2, and 3. And this is probably the nicest book. This was a gift that a coworker gave me once our 3rd child was born. And again, it's awesome, right? We want these gifts. It's fun, but it's also an obligation. So it's kind of, again, another challenge. You go, okay, are you willing to go through this one more time? And these are clad quarters. And I've worked fairly hard to get them, sorted through a lot of quarters. And actually some of the more recent ones I traded for or bought individually, just because I don't want to have an incomplete set. And I think that's common amongst most coin people. But I'm curious, if in that Merle Haggard video, I did a coin collecting journey video, and I really wanted to summarize what I think most of us went through. We started with this, then we probably went into pennies or cents. We started sorting for copper and looking for key dates. And then somebody said, hey, silver's going to go up. And that's why I show the next were the barber dimes. That's where you start learning about the key dates. And I said that 1916D, that was the 4-leaf clover. I showed the quarter books, and that says that's the rainbow, which was the 32 DNS. So I hope that you enjoyed the Merle Haggard. Again, it's kind of artistic, but I was just trying to show a journey of how we evolve. And then I got into the nickels, then it was Roosevelt dimes, which to me means if you're a stacker and you're on Roosevelt dimes, you're kind of out of options, you know. And again, that gets us back to the quarters. You do it because you can. You do it because you have an incomplete set and you want to get it finished. But you're almost at the point where you have to find something different. And that's where I got into the toning, right? That just came as something different. So I am a collector by heart. I started like most people with the Statehood and the park quarters. I'm happy I have them. If I was going to advise a new collector, I'd say forget this stuff and just stick with silver. Silver is the thing that's always going to be interesting unless you have a passion for these designs. And again, there is value in having these cool designs. They're actually quite amazing. But know where you're gonna go, right? If you're an artist, stick with creative pieces, poured silver, anything that is just exciting for you. But if you're a true collector, know that sometimes it's going to be frustrating and you're going to struggle to finish books. And are you willing to commit? That's all I have, guys. I am so thankful to be part of this community. I hope I bring a little bit of a different flavor. And I'll see you guys next time. Who knows what I'll do next? See ya.